The film today is a small, independently made horror film from 1958. It was originally going to be titled It, the Vampire from Beyond Space, but was changed during production at some point. More than a decade later, screenwriter Dan O'Bannon collaborated with John Carpenter and Ron Cobb to make the sci-fi comedy film Dark Star, while they were at University of Southern California together. There was an alien featured in that movie, and it was a spray-painted beach ball with glued-on claws. The experience left O'Bannon wanting to do a film with an alien that actually looked real. Years later, he was writing a script of a horror version of Dark Star with a small group of astronauts. O'Bannon's number of influences included The Thing from Another World, Forbidden Planet, Planet of the Vampires, as well as EC Comics at the time, and some smaller short stories. However, a prominent film that keeps getting recognized as the main inspiration by many film scholars is It, the Terror from Beyond Space, due to its premise, setting, and some ideas. That film would eventually become the smash hit and genre-defining Alien. So with the semi-interesting history in regards to this film, how exactly is it? That's pretty much it. While the influence in regards to a more popular product doesn't have to be as good or better than said product, it was a bit disappointing that this film wasn't better. I mean, I didn't expect this to be as amazing as one of the greatest and most influential horror films in cinematic history, but I did expect at least something that wasn't as bland as this. But let's get into the good first. I will say the movie does have very good atmosphere. It does have a certain level of suspense and cinematography that makes this atmosphere pretty creepy. I also liked that the setting and how it was sort of this bland spaceship with various levels. With Alien, you needed that spaceship labyrinth of various hallways and rooms and levels because you have that claustrophobic tension with the actual alien. It adds to the scare factor and tension of not knowing where it will appear and if where they are is truly safe. Here, they just have these people versus an indestructible monster. Us versus them. No psychological horror with the audience or anything like that, just presenting a situation of people you kind of care about and how they're going to defeat this monster. The bland setting works in the film's favor with that. I also like the look of the monster. It's surprisingly good for 1958. Not exactly the work of H.R. Geiger, but still pretty good. But outside of those couple of things, there isn't a lot of greatness about this movie. It's painfully slow, despite only being a little over an hour. None of the characters were exceptionally interesting, and I didn't really care about them that much. The climax was kind of interesting in the way they deal with the monster, but outside of that, it's a pretty boring and uninteresting film for the most part. While I do majorly respect the possible influence it had for O'Bannon to create something like Alien, as a movie, I don't really like it. However, if you are interested in the history of Alien and are a cinephile, then I recommend watching it. Or just rewatch Alien.